Hello and welcome to part 2 of our nostalgic and loving queue. I've been doing some live recording recently, so these videos have sort of gone on the back burner, but we are now back to finish this. So I previously composed this starting section. Well, it's not really a starting section, it's everything I thought might be in by the end. I've also got a variation and an idea for an ending. So we need to flesh this out. Let's make a bit of room for ourselves. And we are aiming for somewhere around here. Between 1 minute 30 and 2 minutes. So we're going to need an intro, a breakdown, a build back up and an ending. So what I might do is actually lengthen each of these chords that start off. So instead of now changing, as an intro, I think I'm going to have those as 4-bar chords. Then we'll come into changing a bit more frequently and see where we go from there. So I'm going to put down the structure. I'll pause it so we don't waste any of your time and see you in a bit. Okay, so what I've done is kept that same chord for the start, taken out the cajon and the glock. So we've held that note. Now we change. Then slowly bring in the high percussion. So that's automated, as was violin 1. And the upright bass, I got rid of the leading notes in the first 2 phrases and then put them back in the second. That gets us to about 35 seconds. So now we can start thinking about how we're going to get to a finishing point that will lead us into a breakdown. So see you in a bit. Okay, so a slight change in what we're doing here. I've accidentally composed an ending while I was trying to come up with a B section. I think that works really nicely. So we're going to forget about these other bits that we had there. This is going to be the end section, somewhere around there. We do need a middle section. That would have taken us up to 2 minutes. So this can come back a little bit if we need to. We just need to have a breakdown in the middle. That was the ending. So I'm going to have to still come up with something to come in here that's a breakdown. I think it's going to be based on percussion. Probably don't need that leading note. And we're going to need some sort of pad in there, which may then build into this last section so it becomes bigger than the A. So I'm probably going to look for a paddy sound and see where we go from there. Right, so what I've done is grabbed processed pattern from Sequus, which sounds like this. Subtly in the background with the scarby and the percussion. Then I've got a slight edit point here where it fades out. I'm not sure if I'm going to bring everything back in at the same time. I'll probably fade them in. and I need some transition element to get between that section and also out of this first section. So I'll come back when I've added some of those. Right, so there's a couple of things that I've done. I've put the transitions in. I had a look at using damage and some of the hybrid transitions, but I've actually gone back to BPCSO symbols. So we're just using those in the transitions. You'll notice I've moved the Glock part towards the end, so we've got something else to build into. And I've also added in the transition the violins back in, but what I've done is automated them to drop down in volume because it sounded a bit odd with them completely dropping out. On top of that, I've actually added this quite subtle part using Albion 1, the mid brass, which is just doing this outlining of the chords. It's fairly quiet. And then we end on a sort of C minor, which is a bit different. And then back into the final section where things build up again. So there you have it, a nostalgic cue in A, B, and then A+ format, around about 2 minutes. Follow that structure if you like. Don't forget like and subscribe, always appreciated, really helps the channel. I'll play it through for you again and see you for part 3 when we mix it all together.